Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon, man? This episode 5, I think. I think all these episode 5. I don't even know why I just tried to guess. This shit was dope. I love this fucking episode, man. I love. See, let me ask this though before I get into the review. What is it about Bale that all these girls are finding cute? What is it though, man? Is it because he looks so childlike and innocent with his fucking white hair and red eyes and shit? I don't know. Like, what is it? What is it about this character though, man? Because in this episode, you know, so we see that he's been making quite a bit of money because he has Lily as his supporter, and he's able to make a lot more money than he ever has in the dungeon and shit, right? So he tells Hestia, who, by the way, is just drunk. She is just like plastered because she keeps calling Bale a cheater because she saw him with Lily, his supporter. And it's weird because she didn't ask him about it, but she saw him with her. She was like, "Oh, he's mine, and he's with other girls. And who was that girl anyway? And why was he with her? He already has me. He's a cheater, you know." And so she's drunk by this point. But the next morning, or whatever, he's talking to Hestia, and he's giving her water because she has a massive fucking hangover. And he pretty much says, like, "I'm making a lot more money now, and when is your next day off? Because you've been taking such good care of me, and I'm making a lot more money now. I want to treat you to a nice dinner or something." And she's excited as shit. She's like, "No, we can go now. We going now. We are going to go now." I'm just like, damn, right? And she gets prepared for it, though, man. She gets ready. She actually uses the divine bath or some shit. She goes to the divine bathhouse, which I thought was dope. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of, like, goddesses, like, in this bathhouse. You know what I'm saying? And damn it, I should have watched it again, because I'm just doing this off my memory. Which goddess was that was talking to her? Fuck, I can't remember who it was. Was it Demeter? I think it was. Oh, I might be right. I think it was. But I think it was Demeter. I could be wrong, but for now I'm just going to say Demeter. If I'm wrong, you can correct me on that shit in the comment section or whatever. But they ran into each other in the bathhouse, you know, and pretty much everyone gets on Hestia's case. They're like, "What the hell? Hestia has a man? She's going on a date? They call the, like, lowly big boobs, that Hestia? She has a man? She's going on a date? Oh my god, who is this man?" And that's when, you know, Hestia's just kind of like, he's, you know what I'm saying, the child in my familia. And Demeter asks her, just like, what do you like about him, man? She said everything. And Hestia shows up in her, like, date attire, man, and she was cute though, man. She had her hair down and a little outfit. Like, she looked like a totally different girl. She looks cute. I think, like, even Bale, like, he had to blush because he was just kind of like, wow, like, call me something, like, shit, you know. And just as they were about to go, that's why I asked why all the females love him. All the goddesses were just curious as to who could this man be that Hestia has fucking fallen for, because she didn't interact with any of the males in heaven apparently. And yeah, they all proceed to just molest Bale in a way. They all hugging him and shoving his face in their boobs and all that sort of shit. Like, even Demeter does the shit, you know, which I thought was funny as shit. Like, apparently they all have just become smitten by his looks and how adorable and cute he is and all that sort of shit. I'm just kind of like, wow. To the point where he has to run. Him and Hestia are running and hiding from them, and it was funny as shit. But then they end up in some sort of bell tower or something that's kind of overlooking the city. Which kind of, that scene, I don't know if it was done that way, but that scene just reminded me of Aladdin. Remember in Aladdin when him and Jasmine are kind of running away, and he takes Jasmine to where he kind of sleeps, and he pulls back the little curtain thing, and it's overlooking the whole city of Agrabah. I'm just like, yeah, that's what it reminded me of, because it's overlooking the whole city. You see the sky, you see like the overlook of the city, and he just kind of like, "Look, homie, something like, we should come here again sometime. Let me take you on a real date, and we got to make sure to come back here." And that's, I don't know why, it just reminded me of that scene in Aladdin with Aladdin and Jasmine. I thought that shit was sweet, you know. And then Bale actually had a book that was given to him by Seer. He doesn't usually read books, you know what I'm saying? But this was a book that was given to him by Seer. I forgot what it was called. It was in reference to magic, because while he was in the dungeon with Lily, he saw Lily use a magical item which was a fire, it was a dagger or a sword or something that could produce fire. And she actually used the shit unconsciously. She didn't try to, but she, well, I'm gonna say unconsciously, but it was just kind of like she's starting to look at Belle as more of a friend than just someone she's using to get money for her weak ass family, right? And it was funny as shit though, you know, because she uses the dagger and Belle just kind of like, oh my god, you use magic for my sake? Holy shit, that was so sweet. You know what I'm saying? And she's just like embarrassed by it, which I thought was funny. But he was given this book by Seer. I forgot. It was a reference to magic, but I forgot what the book was called. And he goes back to his place and he's reading the book. And then I was just kind of like, what is happening right now? Why is it so weird? There are just different bells in like his own inner mind. Like in his inner mind, it was just like it was like a Power Ranger shit because they were all different colors. And it was in a dialogue about, you know, like why does he want power and magic and why is he the way he is and what's his motivation for doing what he's doing and all that sort of stuff, you know. And that's pretty much it. Like, it was just an inner dialogue, and then Hestia comes back and she's kind of like, oh, you fell asleep from reading the book. And she's checking his stats, and all of a sudden he has magic. He has the ability to do magic, which is called Firebolt, which is just him kind of throwing out a flame, you know. Turns out that book was a grimoire. And because he actually read from that book, it activated, and now the book is completely useless. The shit is blank. And at first, Hestia was going to try to fucking deny that he read the shit, and she was about to get rid of it. But he takes it back to the restaurant place that Seer works at, and Mama Mia just throws the shit away. She's kind of like, fuck it. It's the other person's fault for leaving this shit here in the first place. Fuck it, I don't care, right? And so, Belle was he was in a rush to use that shit though. So at first, Hestia was just kind of like, hey, wait till tomorrow to use that shit. But he runs out that night and fucking goes into the dungeon and uses his Firebolt move, which I think was dope. He just kind of fucking puts his hand up like this and he's just like Firebolt. And it's killing the fucking monsters like instantly. So I thought that was dope. But he overuses the shit and passes out like a dumbass. He passes the fuck out. And he passes out, and Eyes just happens to be coming up, you know what I'm saying, from the bottom layers of the dungeon to where he was, right? She comes up, and he's there passed out. The elf girl who was with Eyes is like, yeah, he's breathing. He just collapsed from overusing his magic, which is pretty much a rookie mistake. And Eyes nurses him back to health. She's like, he was there with the Minotaur and whatever the fuck happened, and I want to repay him back for that time. And she was blushing, so I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? And she referred to him as that kid. Is she older than him? She said, oh, it's that kid. So is Eyes older than him? Because she does look like it. Because if Belle is about 14, Eyes looks like she's about 17 or so. So she might be. I was just looking. When she said, oh, it's that kid, and I looked, I was like, yeah, she might be older than him because she looks like it. And so she's nursing him back to health or whatever, man. And he wakes up and he just notices that it's... At first he thought he was dreaming, but it's her. She just petting his head and all that sort of shit. Now, I don't know if he actually freaked out the way that he freaked out because her tit was exposed, because her armor was sort of broken, or it was because it was just her and she was petting his head. But he freaked the fuck out. I mean, he literally sweats and just tucks and rolls out. He literally just rolled out of the fucking scene, which I thought was funny as shit. And even I just kind of like, oh, she said, why does he always run away? So I thought that was funny as shit. But we also are getting a little bit of mystery into this series because the family, the Soma family that Lily is a part of, they are some desperate motherfuckers for money. I don't know why, but they're desperate for money, and they are famous for their Soma juice, which again is funny as shit to me because, again, that tit sucker anime, which, thank you, Hunter, has been, he told me it's called Sekka no Quasar. I totally forgot the name of it because I just kind of put that shit out of my mind. But yeah, Sekka no Quasar. Yeah, Soma juice was also something that, you know, they used in that anime when it came from tits. You literally suck the Soma out of a girl's tits, and you got powerful. So is this Soma juice in this series and the Dungeon series, that has something to do with tits as well? I hope not, because apparently the Soma family worships Loki. She doesn't have any tits, so I don't know. But yeah, apparently they worship Loki. Loki actually mentioned the shit. She was like, they don't worship Soma, they actually worship me. So that's kind of weird. I don't know what that means. Like, because they worshiping another god, is like, are their graces fucked up or something? Or are they trying to buy their way into the Loki family? I don't know. But that's what they're doing. They're trying to gather a lot of money. And then that one asshole from like episode, what was it? Was it 4? Shit, I can't remember. But the one guy who was trying to kill Lily in the previous episode runs into Bill again. He's like, oh, hey, you trying to use that little girl to get some money too. I mean, we adventurers after all, so shit, let's gang up on her together. And Bill was just kind of like, hell no, what the fuck you talking about? And Lily sees him talking to this guy, and she's like, what are you talking to that adventurer about? And Bill was like, oh, nothing, man, just some small talk. And Lily, in her own like inner monologue, was kind of like, maybe it's time that we part ways, you know. So she's gonna. I'm assuming she was weary about Bill talking to that guy because she knows who that guy is, and she might be thinking that Bill is into this shit too, which she shouldn't think because he gave her half of his earnings. So yeah, you know. But she might be thinking that shit though, man, and you know it's gonna be hard for her. It's probably hard for her to trust people, but you know. It's gonna end up, you know, being good. They're gonna end up being on good terms, of course, because she's in the fucking intro. Like Lily is in the intro as a part of the team, so it's gonna end on good terms for them. The highlight of this episode was Hestia and Belle were on a date, and Hestia was uber cute. That was the highlight of this episode. You know what I'm saying? That shit was highlighted. It was a great experience seeing Hestia change her outfit and all that sort of stuff, man. She's a cute character, man. Cute character. But then what you guys think about this episode, though, man? Did you like it? Are you enjoying this series? Because by far, this is the sleeper of this anime season. This one is the sleeper. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I didn't even think there was going to be a reason to watch it. The only reason I clicked on it was because I saw a picture of Hestia. That was that picture of the series where you see Belle and you see Hestia. I said, wow, this character's kind of cute. Then I clicked on it and watched it. It was fucking hilarious. It was cool. You know. And Hestia has become an internet sensation. Like, at night. I saw a picture, this picture, and I was just tripping. Cafe Hestia with the ribbon around it. That was ridiculous. But let me know what you guys think about this shit, though, man. Vash Stampede.